Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is the Unknown Astrologer. So this is a part of the Navmansha series which we are doing. Today we will be discussing if you have Aries ascendant in the D9 chart. What happens, how are you in the marriage if you have Aries in the D9 chart rising? What are your partner expectations, how your partner is, what is the public image of the marriage, what is the relationship of this couple with money and with their children. So we will be taking up all of these points, but first of all, if you have not seen the Understanding Navmansha video, which is there on this channel, which is the basic video on the D9 chart, I would suggest that you go and watch that first and then come back to this video if you have Aries ascendant in the D9 chart, because that video will give you the right idea of how to judge, how to see the D9 chart in totality, and then you can apply those principles. And even if I miss out a few pointers, you can apply those principles with the seed of knowledge which I am sharing currently about the Aries ascendant, and then you can judge it for yourself. All right, so Aries is the most primitive sign. It is the Lagna of the Kal Purush. By primitive I mean it is that sign which shows that the husband-wife relationship in this Navmansha is about sharing the burden. The relationships is about, this is what I will do, this is what you should do, and I will keep my part of the duty, you keep your part of the duty. I'm not saying that there is no love or warmth in it. There is a lot of love. There could be a lot of love and warmth depending on the planetary placements. Primitive relationships in fact are physical in nature, and the energy exchange, the physical relationship will become a very important aspect of this couple and this couple's life. Especially the physicality in the relationship is more important for the person whose chart it is, the person who has Aries rising the D9 chart, either male or female. So another important point about Aries in the D9 is that these people will always have an expectation that they will change their circumstances after marriage, and they will change their look, they will change their appearance, their bank balance, their job, their residence, and they would always think that after marriage मेरी लाइफ में चेंज आएगा. And most of these people, if the planetary placements are not very negative, they will always want to get married. They will not shy away from getting married, like we discussed the possibility of not willing to get married in Gemini and in Sagittarius ascendant. But here in the ascendant of Aries, the person will always most likely want to get married, can also get married at an early age. By early age I mean whatever the normal age is in that country, in that culture, उसमें थोड़ा सा अर्ली हो सकता है. अर्ली ना होने की पॉसिबिलिटीज़ सिर्फ यही है कि सैटर्न हैज़ अ प्रेजेंस इन द 1/7 एक्सिस, और in the D1 chart Saturn has a presence with the 1/7 axis, or if this is a male chart, Venus and Saturn are conjunct, or if this is a female chart, Jupiter and Saturn are conjunct. Saturn conjunction in the 1/7 axis of D1 D9, or conjunction with the karakas of partners, that is Venus for male and Jupiter for female, can delay the union, can delay the marriage. Alright, so this shows three things: primitive, energy exchange, clear demarcation of work, uh, uh, a change of image, a change of look, or at least a willingness to change the appearance and look and life, change the life entirely post marriage is seen. On the other hand, the partner of the Aries ascendant person is ruled by the sign Libra. So what Libra shows is that that person, or the Aries person, will always expect the partner to balance the house and the families and the kids, both the families, the in-laws and their own family, very, very well. And in fact, they will automatically get a partner who will be good at balancing his or her own work along with the relationships. This person will be a people's person. This person will be doing things for other people, the Libra person, the spouse of the Aries person. Whereas the Aries person himself will be more focused on his own personal growth and what he is bringing to the table. That in a lot of cases could be that the Aries person says, okay, I will make the money largely, you also make money, but you should have more focus on the family and the kids. Now, in different cultures and in male female settings, these things can be diluted or increased depending on the gender and the culture, and also the planetary placements, because we are right now just discussing the signs and not the planets. All right, so the second house here becomes Taurus, which shows that they will always be looking to save money. Savings of money becomes a very important aspect of this relationship. Also, propagating the family values and saving the family values also becomes very important. So these people will be trying to pass on the family traditions and values to their children. One important thing which happens here is that the second house is ruled by Venus, and Venus also rules the seventh house. So that also shows that the partner of the Aries person will be more concerned with the savings, and the Aries person herself or himself will be more concerned with the money making, but not the saving, just the earning. Okay. Now the fourth house becomes Cancer. Unless moon is afflicted or weak in the D9 chart, their house is very comfortable, very nurturing, and it's like the proper house where you get good food, good shelter, good sleep. So it's a good thing for the fourth house to have Cancer there. But the only condition here is that moon should not be very weak. Now this is the theory around it. The practicality is that in 90% cases or in 90% charts, all of us will have weak moons, because in Tithi the moon gets weak, or it gets weak by association or by sitting in a wrong Rashi. So moon can get weak in multiple factors. So in that case, I can also predict that in practicality, moon becomes weak. So the houses and the families of Aries ascendant person and the people living there can be under some kind of stress, or it can be under some kind of pressure of money, pressure of health, or some stress, will always exist. And the families will be under stress. So there could be conversations of which can lead to stress. Okay, तनाव हो सकता है, जो कि moon will be weak in more cases than not. But another way is that moon could be weak, but Jupiter can be sitting there, or Jupiter can be aspecting the fourth house, so that will release the stress. So we have to see the planets, to be honest. The fifth house here becomes Leo, which makes the children very creative and very intelligent. Also, this couple's focus falls very strongly on the education of the children. So they will always try to look for good schools, colleges, or push their children to study more and more and more. Also, a large part of the savings which they did in the second house of Taurus will be spent, or those savings will be made keeping in mind that the child has to study, and this much money should be kept aside for their education, and so on and so forth. Now, the sixth house becomes Virgo, which shows that most of the disputes and problems of this marriage will be solved by verbal discussions. So if the Aries person wishes to discuss with the partner, which the partner is Libra, the partner's energy will be spent, because 12th from 7th is Virgo, will be spent on solving the problems. But the problem can happen when the Aries person does not want to discuss, and that person can become a bit rigid also. So if the rigidity is reduced in the head, if the mental blocks are reduced, And provided again, if the moon is well placed, then the blocks will be less. So most of the problems will be solved by discussion. The partner will be somebody who's a well balanced individual who can balance work and family and everything together. The partner could be somebody who's into the fields governed by Libra, which could be law, which could be deal making, which could be business of any kind, and which could also be interior designing or fashion designing. These things are ruled by Libra as a sign. And this is a very good Lagna if the partners, both the couple, would want to do a business together after marriage. In fact, the Aries ascendant person would want to start something with his or her partner after marriage. It will be in his mind कि मुझे शादी के बाद बिजनेस करना है और अपने वाइफ या अपने हस्बैंड के साथ करना है, which is a very good thing. The ninth house becomes Sagittarius, which shows that they will have deep interest in religion unless Jupiter is afflicted. If Jupiter is or even normally placed, then their interest in religion will be active and they will pursue it with the rituals, with all the puja part and all the possible things which are to be done in the family post marriage. Also, they will not go away from that. The 10th house, which is the image of the marriage, becomes that of Capricorn. This shows that the people around them will appreciate the marriage, appreciate the union for their dutiful nature, for the fact that these two people have so well chalked out boundaries and so well chalked out duties कि दोनों को पता है किसका क्या रोल है, किसका क्या काम है, and they are both doing it very very well. If one of the partner is not able to follow the duties properly, then the dispute happens. Remember, the sixth house has Virgo, which is the house of duty, हाउस ऑफ सर्विस. तो अगर पार्टनर अपने प्रोमिसेस पे नहीं रहेगा तो डिस्प्यूट पैदा करेगा, बट वो डिस्प्यूट्स भी वर्बल डिस्कशन से सॉल्व हो जाएंगे मोस्टली. ओके, द 12th हाउस, विच इज़ अगेन इम्पॉर्टेंट इन दिस केस, is Pisces. So these people can choose to travel to offbeat locations. So let's say if every couple we know goes to on a honeymoon, goes to, let's say, Singapore or Europe or Greece or Italy, but this couple can choose to go to some distant land in Africa or in Kenya, and can go and visit the animal safari or some other thing which is more nature oriented, which has less tourists. They will always choose to go to less touristy places, and which is a bit different, bit offbeat from the usual tourist centers. Okay, so this is the 12th house. The 11th house becomes Aquarius here, which is the natural 11th. Every house is the natural house of Kalpurush, but 11th Aquarius 11th sign having the Saturn energy shows that their gains and their growth in status will be slow and steady. It will not be a very fast windfall gain. So they will slowly grow, but they will continue to grow post marriage, the income. And that is why, because the 11th house becomes Aquarius, that is why the second house, which is Taurus, shows that they will have a very strong conviction that they have to save money. They will always have to save money. Only thing which can make this growth fast is placement of Rahu in the 11th house, or a conjunction of Saturn with Rahu, or Mercury's aspect can also affect it to some extent. But mostly, whenever you have 11th house Saturn in any Lagna, in the D1 chart also, or in the D9 chart, it shows that the growth or the gains will be slow but steady. Regular upgrade will be there. Alright guys, this is my analysis of Aries rising in the Navmansha chart. For more such videos, please subscribe to this channel, and please let me know if you have Aries ascendant in the D9 chart and what I have said makes sense to you. Alright, thank you. Bye bye.